Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on Gold Mythic Sweetie Princess, who is not only a brand new character that has came into the game, but she's also a part of this event called Rotten Romance. Not only will we be doing the character review, but we're also going to be going over everything in the gray market of the Rotten Romance while we're at it. But we're going to go ahead and knock this character review out. So before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing alright, and I'm staying safe for the most part. So yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and jump into this character review, and also going over the review of the Rotten Romance event, shall we? Sweetie Princess Commonwealth. Her trait is fast, her role is a damage dealer, and her allegiance is a member of the Commonwealth. Now let's take a look at her stats. Her attack stat is 25,951. Her defense is 13,264. And her HP is also 18,454. Now let's take a look at her adrenaline rush. Love and Pain. The recharge rate is 66 AP, so pretty much the standard for most gold mythics. Deals 600% damage to an enemy if that enemy is of a role other than tank. Attack them for 500% damage. If a Protector Mercer teammate is alive, they and this fighter get 150% attack for 2 turns. Okay, so it's pretty simple. She's doing 600% damage to an enemy, which, I mean, that's not a bad amount of damage either. I mean, that's a pretty good amount of damage, I would say. So if that enemy is any of the roles, you know, if the target is not a tank, then they will be doing 500% damage, which honestly, that's going to be really nice, because that's a extra, you know, you're already doing 600% damage, plus if the target is not a tank character, they're going to be doing an additional, you know, she's going to be doing an additional 500% damage, which that's going to be really nice. Now, this second part is going to be totally useless if you don't have Protector Mercer, which sucks. So if you do have Protector Mercer, Princess and Mercer, they're both going to get 150% attack. If you don't have Mercer, Protector Mercer, you won't be benefiting from that at all. So I think the adrenaline rush is both good and mid, because most people aren't going to have Protector Mercer, right? So you're going to be missing out on half of the adrenaline rush, which that really sucks. It really does. But overall, the adrenaline rush is better overall if you have Mercer on the team. If you don't have Protector Mercer on the team, it's going to be half as good as it could be, pretty simply. Now, let's take a look at her signature move, Paired Brawlers. The initial cooldown is turn 1, 2 turns for the cooldown, number of uses unlimited. if a Protector Mercer teammate is alive, stun and daze an enemy for 2 turns. Attack that enemy for 400% damage. This fighter gets 100% taunt resistance for the rest of combat. So, here we go with another situation where, just like the Adrenaline Rush, the signature move is either going to be really good or it's going to be mid. It'll either be really good or it won't be as good as it could be. If you're missing out on Protector Mercer, which I would guess a large number of the player base is going to not go for him or might not have the coins, or the tokens, I should say. They won't have the tokens to necessarily go for him. They're going to be missing out on the fact that you can stun and daze an enemy for 2 turns. I feel like that's going to be important. That's going to be vital, and that's going to suck to miss out on that. But however, if you don't have Protector Mercer, you still will be able to deal 400% damage. Plus, Princess is going to get taunt resistance, 100% taunt resistance for the rest of combat, which that kind of makes up for potentially not having Protector Mercer, because I mean, taunt, it can definitely be a pain in the backside, absolutely. So having that taunt resistance for the rest of combat, it won't hurt to have it. You never know when you might get taunted. So again, if you have Protector Mercer, the signature move is going to be really good. If you don't have him, it's going to be half-ass good, just like the Adrenaline Rush, which sucks, but we shouldn't be surprised, because leading up to Protector Mercer, it was hinted at, it was teased that these two could work together, and that's definitely true. Now let's take a look at her mythic abilities. Agility, 20% increase in basic attack damage. Go ahead and level that one up all the way. It's only going to help her out. No need to really go into it all that much. We're all aware what it does. Assured Plan. At the start of each turn, 100% chance a random medic role enemy gets dazed for 1 turn, and a random tank role enemy gets confused for 1 turn. Okay, so I think this one's really good, because like it says, at the start of each turn, there's a 100% chance that a random medic role enemy gets dazed for 1 turn, and a random tank role enemy gets confused for 1 turn. And if you're coming up against defensive teams that have medic role characters and tank role characters, which is very likely, that's going to actually come in real handy, right? So, and it says for 1 turn, but you got to remember, that's for each turn. So that's actually going to be really good, and I think it's potentially going to be really annoying to come up against. So I would definitely level that one up. I think that one's going to be a pretty good one. Spreading Love. When this fighter attacks an enemy with a debilitating effect, 100% chance one other enemy gets a random debilitating effect for 2 turns. Okay, you know what? I think there are sub-missions where we have to level up all of these mythic abilities, so during the event, if you get your hands on Sweetie Princess, if you decide to go for her, I would go ahead and level all of these mythic abilities up anyway, because you're going to have to do it anyway for the submission. So, again, this is one, I would say if we weren't in an event right now, and these, leveling up these mythic abilities weren't a part of submissions, I would say I would think about it, but I would go ahead and do it. That way you don't miss out. Because honestly, I don't know if I would level this one up any other time outside of the event. So, yeah, I would go ahead and level that one up. Bodily harm. When killing a target, this fighter gets 50% attack for each dead enemy for 2 turns. Again, outside of the submissions right now, again, I don't know if I'd level this one up, but maybe some of you out there really think this one is good. So, regardless, I would go ahead and level it up. That way you're not missing out on completing those submissions. So all of them, all of her mythic abilities, I would go ahead and level them up. Why not? While the event is still going on, right? It just started, but, you know, what is it, like 3-4 weeks? They usually are about that long. Now, let's take a look at her specialist skill. Cutthroat 2. Whenever this fighter deals damage to a fighter that is under the effect of a debilitating status, they will deal 100% extra damage. Now, again, I think for this type of character, it seems like Cutthroat 2, it seems like it's going to be really good for this character. It definitely works with Danny, for sure, but I'm very curious, is it going to work the same way with Sweetie Princess as it does with Danny? I don't have Danny, by the way. I was using one of my faction mates, faction supporters, and they had Danny up. Thank you again, Sheriff Woody. Danny is he's really great. Wish I could have pulled for him, but regardless, this isn't about Danny. This is about Princess. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see if Cutthroat is going to be as helpful as useful for Sweetie Princess as it is for Danny. But overall, Cutthroat is usually a pretty underrated specialist skill. I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about, you know, a whole lot. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at her weapon. Mercer's Savage Shield. 40% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking, improved teammate reviving. When killing a target, a 50% chance to revive a teammate with 75% HP and 100% defense for 2 turns. Improved trait advantage. Increase trait advantage damage multiplier by 25%. Okay, so the 40% attack is good. Huge bonus to AP when attacking, you know, take it or leave it. Most people might just leave it and go for 55% attack, which wouldn't be the craziest idea. Improved teammate reviving. So this one, I might actually keep this one on here because you never know when you're going to come up against Vengeance Peacekeeper or Vengeance Jesus, and the potential that some of your teammates could get killed by them, but you have a 50% chance to revive a teammate with that 3rd slot on her weapon, so I probably would go ahead and keep that, just because you never know when you might actually need that. You might not think nothing of it at first, but you never know. You're in raid or war or roadmap, a really tough roadmap. You never know when that improved teammate reviving might come in handy. You never know, so I would definitely think about leaving that one on there. Improved trait advantage. Increased trait advantage damage multiplier by 25%. I don't know how I feel about this one. I might just leave it on there. I mean, because why not? I don't know. I'm not I'm not super impressed by the weapon's stats, but I would probably just honestly try to go for 55% attack. I mean, why not? I do like the look of the shield, or the shields, I should say. The animation, I don't know. They could have done it better. instead of her like swinging like she's swinging a one-handed knife or something, they should have had her animation like push out with the shield like she's shield bashing someone. Would have been for a way better animation in my opinion, but it just looks so standard. It would have made her animation stand out a little bit amongst the fast tunes. And is it just me, or is Scopely just obsessed with coming out with nothing but free-to-play fast tunes? Like, what is this, like the 6th or 7th fast tune in a row for free-to-play players? Are we serious? Like, Scopely, you know that Strong, Tough, and Alert exist. Don't you know this? I guess you do. I reckon you do, but I don't know. But the overall look on Sweetie Princess, I like the look. You know, and then, you know, the artwork over there, Mercer's there in the background there. They're fighting along back to back, and they're probably fighting off walkers. Yeah, you know what? It actually does look like walkers. Yep, they sure are fighting off walkers. There we go. We can see it better that way. Possibly they're protecting, or at least they're trying to protect the Commonwealth, even though Pamela Milton and Lance Hornsby and Sebastian Milton are still there. I mean, there are other innocent people there that haven't done anything wrong, but those three individuals, yuck. Especially Sebastian. Ooh, I hate Sebastian. He totally gets what he deserves in the TV show, not the comic. There's a difference. If you watched the show or read the comic first and didn't watch the show, he has a totally different fate in both. They absolutely did it correctly in the show. I will say that. I won't say what happens, but a majority of you probably already know. And I'll just leave it there. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Sweetie Princess? Are you going to go for her? And do you think she's as good without Protector Mercer? Or do you think she's going to need Protector Mercer? I think she's going to absolutely need him to be very great. I think without him, she's going to be mid to just aight. So we'll see. But now, let's get to talking about the rest of the Rotten Romance event. Next up, we have Princess and Mercer's Sweetheart Dagger. 40% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking. When attacking, 50% chance to make a second attack against the same target with 150% attack. Fast attacks. At the start of each turn, all other teammates get 10% attack for each fast teammate for one turn. So, I like the simple look of the weapon. The 40% attack is good. The huge bonus to AP, I'm sure, you know, that'll come in handy. When attacking, you know, the 50% chance to make a second attack against the same target with 150% attack. I mean, that one could be really good or just so. Fast attack. So with this one, it's very obvious. They want you to build a fully fast team. That way you can get the most out of that. Whoever's holding this weapon won't get the... Let's just say if you're building an all-fast attack team, whoever's holding it won't get the 50% attack, but all the other teammates will. So, what's that? 1,400 I can't even talk. So it's going to cost 1,400 Valentine's Days cards. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got Princess over here who cost... Sure, she's gonna cost more than 1,400, but you would be getting a full character for more than 1,400. I mean, again, If you want to go for the weapon, sure, the option's there, but I don't know if I want to go for the weapon myself, just because it's all fast based, and it is a fast weapon. So I'm kind of iffy on the weapon, just because it's, I don't know, just because it can't be benefited by all four or any of the four traits. So, okay, next up, for you Avatar lovers, you have another Avatar to go for. I Crave Your Heart. A pretty interesting Avatar. We got a zombie who's got a bouquet of roses, and oh, well, why don't you look at that? He's got his heart literally giving it out to who he hope is going to be his true love for Valentine's Day, right? So, kind of an interesting Avatar. Although for 400 cards, when they first came out with the idea of avatars in the game, it was a cool idea at first, but it's just tiresome now. It really is. It doesn't add, avatars, they don't add any value to the game other than, ooh, look at what new avatar I have for this month and that month. I mean, I'm probably going to be skipping the avatar just because I'd rather go for the character. She's going to help me out a lot more in the long run than an avatar ever will. But for you avatar lovers, you got another interesting avatar for 400 cards. Now, we have a couple of Paragon mods. Let's take a look at the first one. Attack versus Tough. Okay, so if you are going for Princess, this might be a good one to collect. And you can get 2 of them for 250 cards apiece. So if you don't already have an Attack versus Tough Paragon mod for whatever reason, you could apply it to Princess, and there you go. I don't think that would be a bad one for her, honestly. So we have another one. Let's take a look. Stun Resistance Paragon mod. This is going to be a really good one. I might even think about picking this one up myself because I don't know if I have one. That is if the stun resist works. So it's kind of a gamble for me, but this is one I might need just to have in general. So if you need a stun resistance Paragon mod, this is the place to go ahead and get it for 250 cards. Let's take a look at the next one. Attack while impaired Paragon mod. I mean, this one I think so far is maybe the least important one, but I don't know, it's not a bad one to have, but trust me, there are bad Paragon mods, if you can believe it. They do exist. I probably have more bad Paragon mods than good ones. That's my luck. Probably a lot of players' luck too, but if you want to attack while impaired, I mean, I don't know if I would, but you can. The option's definitely there for 250 cards. Now, a bleed on attack, and this is a crit mod. So, I mean, you are going to get a very good bleed percentage since it's a Paragon mod, so I would say this one is actually better than the last one we just looked at. So if you need a bleed on attack crit mod, crit set I should say, a Paragon mod, yeah, I'd probably go ahead and pick it up if you need it. Now let's take a look at the last one, attack set mod. Okay, so this one is a completely mystery Paragon mod. Ooh, welcome to the casino. Take a chance, sit at the table and see what you get. You could get really lucky and walk out with a really good mystery Paragon mod, or a so-so one, or a really bad one. Why not take a chance and gamble on the mystery Paragon mod? Burn. Not me. No, that's okay. I would rather have one of the guaranteed ones right here. For you people that love to gamble on these mystery mods, it's all for you for only 200 cards. Have at it, why not, if you want to take the chance and roll the dice. Now, we have the gear metal bag, and you can get 8 of them for 100 cards. Honestly, these are the hardest metals to come by, so I might try to pick up a couple of these, just because, believe it or not, from the last event for the gear metal bag, I got all 8 of them in one of the 8 pulls. Excuse me. When I was pulling for the gear metal bags in my inventory, I actually got one of them that started out with 1,000 gold medals. I'm like, no way, are they all gonna be this good? And well, the next highest one I got, I think, was like 100, and then I got like 50 and 25. But I did get 1,000. I was like, whoa, no way. That was really, I was like, wow. I've never gotten 1,000 at once before, so that was a really cool surprise. So, the gear metal bags, they're definitely very much needed, so I would probably pick some up. Now, next up, we have the Silver Choice tokens, 25 in stock for 50 cards, so they're very much needed, so I would absolutely pick them up if you need them. Now we have bennies. Yes, they are definitely needed as well, so only for 20 cards, that's not a bad price at all. Now we have the SP, or the purple trainers, for 30 cards. Honestly, they are the hardest ones between the purple and blue trainers. The purple ones are the harder ones to get, so I would definitely recommend going for them. Even if you might not need them, you never know in the future when you might need them. It wouldn't be a bad idea to pick them up if you can. And the same for the blue trainers, although they do run a weekly roadmap for the blue trainers, but again, if you can pick up the blue trainers, go ahead. It's only 25 cards for the blue trainers, 30 cards for the purple trainers. And last up, we have the TWD gold medals for 35 cards apiece. And we would be getting 1,000 gold medals, which is kind of interesting. I guess they're kind of trying to push people to go for Heath. I guess that's why they put the gold medals there. They're like, ooh, maybe you only need a couple thousand and you can go get only one copy of Heath. So we're gonna help you out, which I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna skip out on Heath because I'm not paying $15 for one copy. I'm not spending 100,000 medals for another copy, and I'm not doing those hard-ass roadmaps for the other 3 copies. I hope that tactic fails by Scopely, and I don't know, maybe I'm getting my hopes up and it'll actually succeed, unfortunately, but I guess we'll see. Maybe, to my surprise, maybe it'll actually fail, but if you do want to go ahead and get some gold medals, you can go ahead and get 20 of them in stock, so that would be 20,000. Let's say if you're 20,000 short from Heath, here you go, you can get 20,000 of them right here for the next month. There you go, sir, madam. But the gold medals wouldn't be a bad idea. Just, you never know. I mean, but they did fix the roadmap. So I've been doing the roadmap every day, and that's 500 every day. You know what I mean? So they did fix it. So overall, what is going to be my number one priority? Sweetie Princess. I mean, why not? There's submissions to level up her mythic abilities and to level her up. So she's my number one priority. But after that, I might try to get one of these mods, probably the gear metal bag, and then maybe these trainers. And then I might try to get some silver choice tokens. I don't know. I probably won't be able to get all of that, but I'll definitely have to make some choices for sure. So, what are your thoughts on not only Gold Mythic Sweetie Princess, but also what are your thoughts on the whole Rotten Romance event? Do you think it's a good event, or do you think it's just somewhere in between? Or do you think it's just not that good of an event? I don't know, you know, whatever your thoughts are on all of this, let me know down in the comments. And that's all I got for you guys for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.